Hey, 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 you guys. Welcome. Happy Friday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have some good news for some of you. Well, for everyone, but some of you will be particularly excited about it. Good morning, good morning. Come on in. Let me know who's here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, let me know you're a replay watcher. I'm a replay watcher. I'm a replay watcher. Okay, let me know where you're tuning in from. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. So, listen, I wanted to come on because I wanted to talk about something that's really significant, right? While as Christians, followers of Christ, we are not obligated to the law. Like, we are not held captive to the law. In fact, Jesus came to fulfill the law, but he did not come to destroy the law. Today, we are in the eve of Rosh Hashana. Now, Rosh Hashana is the Jewish New Year. Now, let me tell you why this is significant. While we are not under the law, the timing and the seasons of God do not change. And so this is a very special season, right? It's a very sensitive season. It's a season where we have the ability, when we tap in, when we plug in, to really maximize things and take it to the next level. Rosh Hashanah starts this evening at sunset. And it runs from sunset today until sunset on Sunday. This is Rosh Hashanah. And during this time, this is a time of repentance and fasting. It's a time of repentance and fasting. A time when we need to be very aware. We need to be sensitive. Hey, LaKersha, we need to be making amends, fixing things, making things right as we move into the new year. For those of you who said, throw 2020 out, right? For those of you who said that, okay? Listen, we're moving into a new year. Yay! It's a new year. Listen, as we prepare to go into this new year, okay, it is time for us to really do self-reflection. What's going on with you? What's going on with your character? What's going on with your mentality, your being? Are you in alignment with God? It's important that you ask yourself these questions. Do you need to make any amends? Do you need to forgive anybody? How about that right there? I don't know about anybody else, but listen, forgiveness is one of my greatest challenges, and it's especially challenging when I feel like you did some stuff intentionally to damage me, like, you what? So this is a time to really release all of that stuff, let it go, so that you can move into this new year clear, free, available to God, able to do what it is that he would desire for you to do from a place of love, from a place of sincerity, from a place of purity, right? This is the time for you to fast and pray and ask God to show you to show you those things that he desires to change in you, that he desires to move out of you. Ask him to show you, God, what do you want from me, right? So Rosh Hashanah is a very sensitive time. It's a very pivotal time. It's a very holy time. And when we understand that, then we can recognize the time and the seasons of God, the festivals and the feasts and the significance to God, not as something just to do. We get so used to doing things just routinely that they sometimes lose their value and their impact because it's just something that we do. It loses some of the meaning. It loses some of the power. It loses some of that. But this is a time where you can really maximize and get your mind right, get your spirit right, get your being right, and ask God for divine directions for this next year. Ask God for divine directions for this next year. God, what is it that you would have me to do in this next year? Where do you want my energy focused? How do you want me to move? So these are things that you need to think about as we are going into Rosh Hashana. So today, this is what I would encourage you to do. I'm not telling you what to do, but this is what I would encourage you to do. I would encourage you to, over the next, from sunset today to sunset on Sunday, to really move into a place of consecration. Really move into a place of consecration. What I'm going to be doing for the next few days is just sharing some things to meditate on as you are consecrating yourself unto the Lord. I encourage you to fast, figure out what that looks like for you. Ask God what he wants you to fast. And fast that, right? For some of you, it's easy to fast food. For some of you, it's not. If it's not easy for you to fast food, then you may need to fast food. If it's easy for you to fast food, then you may need to fast something else. But whatever you fast, it should be a sacrifice. It should be something that is sacrificial, something that says to God, God, hey, I'm willing to give this up right now so that I might hear more clearly from you. God, I'm willing to give this up so that I might be able to be in your face and be in your presence with a pure heart and in a pure mind, right? Something that will indicate to God that, hey, listen, I want you more than I want this. The Word of God says that obedience is better than sacrifice, and I've learned to listen to the voice of God for myself and then obey him. Whatever he tells me to do, that's what I do. Jesus said this. He said, I just do what the Father does, right? Whenever the Father tells me to do, that's what I do, right? And that ought to be our posture. It ought to be our posture on a daily basis, on a regular basis, but particularly right now. Right now, we have the unique opportunity to set the stage for our new year. It's a new year, you guys. I know for some of you, you're waiting for the Gregorian calendar to flip, but I need you to know that God's time is perfect time. And when God's calendar flips, my calendar flips, right? So I know that I'm going into my new year, and I need to know, God, what do you want me to do in this new year? What is it? I know that God made me some promises. And already, he has done exceedingly and abundantly above all I could think or ask, right? But he made me some promises. There are some things that are yet to manifest. And so I know that this new year is my opportunity to come out of the gate swinging, to come out of the gate not in a place of lack or a place of struggle, but from a place of power. I am excited about it. I'm looking forward to it because I know that God is getting ready to do something over the next few days. Now, you may not see that, and you may not see it for you, but I'm telling you, if you will get this in your spirit, God is going to be able to do some amazing things in your life. But you got to catch it. You got to hold on to it. You got to walk it out and do some research. Find out what was going on during this time. How did this even come about? What was the impetus for the establishment of this feast and these festivals? What was it? See, it's not so much just about the feast or the festival. It's about what does it symbolize? What is its significance to all of my Jewish brothers and sisters? I say to you, as we are going into this season, let it be one where there is a marriage and a unity between God's children, such that blows the mind of the world, the secular world, that we might know that we are connected, that we are one, that we are his, and that he has chosen us, a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. What an amazing thing. So you guys, this is your opportunity to step into that. This is your opportunity to walk in that and walk that out in a way that maybe you haven't done it before. I don't care what you've done before. I don't care what your life has looked like in the past. I don't even care what it looked like yesterday. What I care about is you have an opportunity to go before God and say, God, create in me a clean heart and renew in me a right spirit. Create in me a clean heart and renew in me a right spirit, so that I might represent you in the earth, that I might show up and people know that I am a reflection of you, that I might show your love in a way that it transforms someone's life. I think sometimes as Christians, we get so caught up in trying to judge everybody and dictate everybody's morality and their decision making that we forget the power of love. We forget the power of love. One of the things that I'm so amazed by Jesus was Jesus didn't spend his time running around condemning people. That's not where he spent his time. That's not what he did. That's not to say that he didn't recognize wrong. He did. But he didn't focus on that. He focused on whether or not they wanted to be free, whether or not they wanted to be whole, and just showing them God's love. Because God's love covers a multitude of sins, and it will cause change to occur in your life. It makes you want to change. Have you ever loved somebody so much that you just naturally wanted to do what pleased them? It wasn't that they made you do it or they forced you to do it or they told you you had to do it, but you loved them so much that you just wanted to. God operates in that space. God operates in that space where he wants us not out of obligation, not out of fear, not out of any of the things that sometimes used, in the church to get us to change, but out of love, sheer, genuine love, just a love for him, wanting to be closer to him, be more like him, to be in his presence, right? That is the key. So today, I want to let you know that I love you. I love you with the love of God. And beloved, I wish above all things that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. My prayer for you is that maybe you heard something that sparked something that made you want to go study, that made you want to go look it up, that made you want to do some research so you could really understand the significance and why the shofar is blown at the end and, want to know what was going on for the children of Israel that led to the establishment of this particular feast, this particular festival. What is Yom Kippur? What is Rosh Hashana? What are these things, and why do we even need to know anything about them, right? So many of us say, oh, I'm just Christian, right? And, it's so funny to me because I'm like, Jesus wasn't Christian. Jesus was not Christian. Y'all do know that, right? So, we say we want to be like Jesus, but do we really? Because Jesus understood that he could not divorce himself the things that his Father had established. Not that he was bound to the law, but he fulfilled the law, right? And listen, let me tell you this. God's love will create the ultimate fulfillment of the law. Now, I don't know, you guys. I know I'm getting ready to go work out. But there's something that God is doing that's so beyond our normal comprehension. Something that he's doing that may not even make sense to us. We may not understand it. It may not be clear right now. But what I will tell you is that when you stay in alignment with him, he will show you and guide you and direct you in what to do and what to say and how to move and all of those things. And all of those things will make evident to others his love and how amazing and how great he is. I just want to declare this word over you all. I declare that today will be the day of your life yet. That you will walk in a renewed understanding of who you are in God. That God will reveal strategies, divine strategies to you for your life, for your business, for your family, for your spiritual walk and your journey. That he would unlock the inner recesses of your being that have been locked up and hidden and held captive by things that are not like him. That he would release into your hands the things that he has promised you that have been held up. And I don't know who it is, but somebody in particular that is watching this live. Actually, it's a couple of people. It's a couple of people who are watching now and a couple of people who will watch later. But for you, there is money that has been held up for you. Listen, the money was supposed to have been released. It was supposed to have been gone to your account and hit your account. But what I'm telling you is this. In this season, it is imperative that you just go into a state of fast. If you will fast and you will focus and you will seek God, after Rosh Hashana, the money will be released like that, and it's going to seemingly happen, like overnight. So there is a key to this season for you, and it's going to unlock and release funds that are currently held up. I see two people who are in the midst of making a decision about relationship. You're in the midst of making a decision about your relationship, and you've been teetering and tottering and going back and forth and vacillating. And a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. It's created instability in your finances, instability in your emotions. You're on an emotional roller coaster. But what I'm going to tell you is God has already given you the decision. He has already established the word, and you just don't want to execute it. Execute the word that God has given you. Execute that word and watch how things begin to change in your life like that. So you need some more time, fast and pray over the next couple of days. At the end of Rosh Hashana, move. If you don't move before, at the end of Rosh Hashana, move. Don't carry into the new year what God has already told you to release. Release everything that God has told you to release before you step foot into the new year at sunset on Sunday, so that you will not be bound by things that have held you hostage in the past. There's someone on here who has recently gotten a cancer diagnosis. This is not your first one. It's not your first trip around with cancer. But you recently got a cancer diagnosis. They told you that the cancer has returned. They told you that it's stage 3. And what I'm going to tell you is it's not unto death. It's not unto death. The diagnosis, the prognosis is not unto death. It's not unto death. God says it's not unto death. Don't tap into it and accept it as death is your final portion, because it's not. It's not unto death. I don't care that they said that it's age 3. I don't care that they said that, I don't care about any of that. God said it's not unto death. It's not unto death. Okay? There's somebody on here, you just recently applied for a job at a school. You've been waiting to hear. So I'm just going to tell you, okay? And I don't want you to feel no type of way, but I got to say what God said. God said that he's not giving you that job. He's not giving you that job, but it's for your protection, and you'll see, because some things are going to be revealed later on at that school. And it will show why he protected you. You apply for a job at a school. You're waiting to hear. When you hear, you're going to get a negative report. When you get that negative report, don't let it make you feel like something's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. God is protecting you. He said, I'm protecting you. It's a hedge that he has around you. He has some things for you to do, and he's protecting you. And he needs you to focus in some different areas. It's some things that he wants you to do. So don't be upset that you did not get the position. The position, it was God's protection. You not getting the position was God's protection. Wow. This is not what I planned on doing. I see a young woman on here who is pregnant. You're in your early 20s. You're pregnant. And you're right now in a place of depression. You're depressed, you're overwhelmed, you feel like God is forsaking you. God is not forsaking you, and that is a child of promise. As a child of promise, there are some things that you're going to go through with this child, because this child is a child of promise. So just know that God has something in store for you. God has something in store for you. Get ready for what God has in store for you. I need you to receive it, and I need you to focus your energies on releasing the negative, because you got a lot of anger and resentment and unforgiveness towards some people. You need to release that. As you release that, what you're going to discover is that you get more joy. You get more joy. And as the joy shows up, you're going to see that God's hand it's on you in a way that you didn't even realize. So go ahead, release it, and as you release that, you're going to discover that you are, your joy returns. Your joy returns. You've not had joy for a while now. Mm, uh, Let me say this, every end is not the end. Every end is not the end. Some ends are the beginning that you've been waiting for, that you've been praying for, that you've been dreaming of. And it's up to you to it's up to you to appropriate it. It's up to you to own it. It's up to you to walk that out. Rosh Hashana is a sensitive time in the spirit. It's a high time in the spirit. And even after that, we're leading up to Yom Kippur. And I encourage you all, if you have not studied the feasts, the festivals, study them, that you might have a better understanding of them. Not to be legalistic in your observation of them, but to understand that the timings and the seasons of God do not change. They change not. And so our ability to tap into that timing allows us to tap into that. With that said, you guys, I'm getting ready to go work out. My daughter's tapping on my window. Know this. Know that I love you all to life and life more abundant. Stay tuned as I'm going to be sharing some things with you to help you walk through this fast, through this season of Rosh Hashanah and moving into Yom Kippur. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Be blessed. Mwah.